All right, guys, so today I wanted to go over something that has really helped me out. Part of the plan moving forward is going to be to give you guys a lot more videos and gear reviews and just insights into things that have really helped me out in my business so that they can hopefully help you out, or at least put something on your radar that might help you step up your game or solve a problem that you might be having. And the thing that helped me solve a huge problem I was having is this Nikon 40mm f2. So one of the biggest issues that I had when I started doing video is that I like things to be really lightweight. I tried out a lot of different things with my gimbal, and we'll kind of get into it, but one of the big things that I really struggled with in the beginning was I was using the Z8 here for my video, and it is a powerhouse, but the problem with it is that it is extremely heavy and big for what it is. And I have found in doing this that the lighter weight you can run, the less accessories that you need, and the smaller the kit, the better the results. And the biggest issue was if I was trying to use this 14-30 as kind of an all-arounder, it doesn't have the bokeh that you want. It doesn't really zoom in enough for detail shots. It doesn't feel like it gets close enough. And just because of that constant f4 aperture, minimum aperture, it isn't bright enough. So I needed something that was a little bit better than that. I started using the 50mm f mount, the 1.8, and that was on the adapter, the F to Z adapter, and that just made it really long, you know? I mean, it was like that long. And it made it, out of balance. It was hard to balance. And it just didn't give me the results I wanted. The focus wasn't fast enough. The bokeh was really nice, but then it also felt a little too close. And so I started to think, well, maybe I need to get a 35mm. But that was when I got introduced to the lens we are talking about, the 40f2. Now, the 40f2 is under $300. That was the biggest thing. A lot of the reviews are coming from a photography perspective, at least that I had found, and there are some issues with corner sharpness at the widest aperture of f2, for sure. But the biggest thing that I like about it is its size. It is tiny in comparison to this lens here. I mean, it is half the size of the 14-30. It is over half the size of the FTZ adapter and the 50mm on it. And it gives beautiful depth. The focus is completely silent. It is not adapted, which is a huge plus for me because that adapter I really struggled with that adapter. It's nice, but it slows down the focus. I just had a lot of issues with the motor sound from it because the motors are different than they are in these. And this guy is a 52mm filter on it, and it doesn't, have any focus breathing. It's all self-contained. It does have kind of a strange rear element on it. It's like a glass cover on the back of it. I don't know if you can kind of see that. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, which I'd never really seen before. Oh gosh. And it is, I keep dropping stuff. It has been a huge increase in speed, in time saved, a massive increase in quality, and it's just been really, really, really nice. And for the price, this cannot be beat. The biggest thing that this has helped me do is get those really, really nice shots when you're trying to throw something in between your camera to get some detail shots of maybe a really nice fan or a fireplace, something like that that really creates the separation that you need and gives a lot of depth to your scene. Because the 50 felt way too close and everything else just felt too far away, and I was a little nervous about this because I've never shot. 40mm is kind of a strange millimeter. It's not something that I normally shoot at. It's not something I find myself being like, oh, 40. Yes, thank God I have a 40mm. But it's been great. And like I said, it's really lightweight. It is plastic in its construction. I don't believe it's an S-line lens, but honestly, for video, it has some qualities to it that just you can't replicate. That f2 is so fast. It makes it to where I don't have to crank up the ISO when I'm in a dark room. It makes it to where I'm not really, it's not like there is a ton of sharpness loss on it. It's very sharp in the center throughout this entire aperture range. But at that f2, on the edges anyway, you kind of want it to be a little bit more soft. It gives it a little more character. It's not that perfect digital look. And that's what I really like about this lens. I think the speed and the weight of it, as I said before, are just fantastic. And this solved all the problems that I had and has become the second, like the second piece of my kit. I run with the Z6 III now. I have a 14mm t2.9 that I use for all of my wide shots. And then my detail shots are this guy, and I don't need anything else. And it has really made a huge difference in how quickly I can work through a space and how easy it is to change, because the 14 is extraordinarily heavy. This guy is super lightweight, but all I have to do is slightly adjust my camera back on the gimbal, and I'm done. And I'm on, moving to the next thing. And that means so much more than having to sit there and rebalance and shift the weight and do everything, and it's still coming up wrong and just taking more time and more time. Because ultimately, the less time that you can spend fiddling around with your camera, the more time you can spend on getting really good shots. And this is just bar none for them. And that's really it. The 40 f2 is a lightweight, perfect solution for what I needed it to be. It is less than half the cost of the Z-mount 50mm 1.8. It's half the size. It produces beautiful bokeh. It's nice and sharp where I need it to be. It helps me with the ISO on my cameras. It helps me keep everything at the quality level that I want it, and it makes my rebalancing much faster than when I would have to switch to the FTZ and the old 50mm 1.8. So I highly recommend this guy. If you're interested in any of the like sharpness charts or a more in-depth review of it, I would highly recommend looking up Christopher Frost. He's who I use on YouTube. I don't need to go around replicating what he does, because he does a fantastic job on it. But for what I do, this lens has been just the greatest addition to my bag. Fits perfectly in there, nice lightweight, and I can't say enough good things about it. So check it out if you're looking for a detail shot lens, or a lens that has a focal length that's a little bit closer, but not like a crazy zoom. It honestly could even be really good for headshots if you guys get into that for your agents, because that f2 aperture and its minimum focusing distance can give some really nice backgrounds without a whole lot of distortion. And it's cheap, so highly recommend it. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else. You guys have recommendations for me. I love hearing from you guys, so I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.